Hello, I am Mary Mazur. This is Change Your Funk to Fun. This episode is Stop Letting Ego Run the Show. Yes, we are. We're going to be talking about some important things here today. May this inspire you. Made this talk motivate you to actually begin to take inspired action in your life, because that's the whole purpose of life, is to actually be able to experience what we truly are desiring to experience. Yes. So, this talk is in reference to the universal law of inspired action. Yes, because there's 12 universal laws. They all work together. They all support each other beautifully, which is actually super huge here. So, and it's great to also focus in at with the universal laws one at a time, so that you can learn what they are. You can and begin to embody it, bring it into your life. Let it be here for you. Okay. So that is one of the biggest gifts, which I love with the universal laws. It's really an ability for you and for each of us to realize that, wow, this universe, the universe that we live in, actually is designed perfectly. It actually works perfectly. It works in order, in harmony, in beautiful connections and supports. Yes, with ebbs and flows of life and with ebbs and flows of experiences that we have. And here on Earth, so we are one planet of this universe and a very amazing, unique planet, that's for sure, of this beautiful galaxy that we're in. Is that with Earth and with you being an Earthling like myself, we volunteered and agreed to come experience and be born, especially all of those born in the 20th century, especially to experience the third dimensional experience. So, what does that mean? That means that we agreed to have a veil or a bit of, you can call it an illusion of separation, illusion of a disconnect or a gap of remembering who you really are. We agree to forget who we are. That's pretty much what it is. Yes, we did. We completely agreed, many of us, to forget who we are. Some people actually, have a lot of giftings and spiritual giftings that they've had when they were younger, and then for some would shut that down, because that also could have happened with you too. This talk also is here to help ignite that within you, to bring back, for you to turn on, to remember again that you are spirit. You are a divine being having this human experience here. And the gift is because we are in the 21st century now, the age of Aquarius, and everything is helping us right now, especially right now. If you want to look at astrology stuff, this month is super potent, because starting November 20th, Pluto will then be moving into Aquarius for the next 20 years and leaving Capricorn. So for right now, these couple weeks before that time, it's actually meant for us to go within ourselves and to start releasing, letting go, ending, stopping these old ways, these hierarchy ways, the ways that we were taught only to survive and actually be in our own individual selves, or just doing what was best for our own selves. And we are going to be invited to begin to always, whatever you're going to do for yourself is good for others too. So it's a win-win, and that we get to begin to work together, work in collaboration and harmony, finding ways that we can all enhance each other. So it's rising tides raise us all ships. So anything that you do, the love of who you are and the healing work that you'll do for yourself, then is a ripple effect for the whole world. And it, because it actually is, which is awesome. And you get to focus on yourself. Yes, you do. You get to really start allowing yourself to begin to open up time for yourself, begin to put yourself as a priority alongside with, if you're raising a family or supporting a family. Yes, being involved in with our relationships that we are, that you make sure you are a vital piece of that. So that's super huge. Okay. And that's a big one for saying stop letting ego run the show. So what that is about is that our ego is our individual separate self part of us. The gift with the ego is that each of us get to be our own unique selves. So it is an important feature for us. A lot of times egos get pretty, the people talking about egos, they'll pretty much, rip it apart basically, or talk bad about it, or whatever, judge it basically. And instead of judging it, let's honor our ego. So you can actually honor your ego and recognize that it is a unique part of you. But there are some missing pieces because ego, many can say, can stand for edging God out or edging spirit out. And what that means then is that you have agreed to forget that you are a spiritual being, which means you are connected with everything in the universe. You're connected with the creator of the universe, our oneness creation creator that created us, that we agree to be created for. Which means when you do actually begin to let go of only working from the ego part of you, that you get to be able to connect with the spirit part of you, the true essence of who you are, which I'd love to say is that you get to work it with using your body in your heart center and your power center within you. Those are two important centers within you, that your life will begin to change. And super huge. So if you have this topic here of stop letting ego run the show, means if in your life that there's anything that's frustrating you, challenging you, getting you irritated or even angry or rageful about, or just things that are really, really can get things going for you, that's actually just an aspect of your human part of you, your ego part of you, that is judging things, that is connected with fear. And it's actually a contracted energy and fear that many of us will get pulled into, that then creates those other experiences like frustration, like even resentment, things like that, and or anger. So all of those we can call them cousins of fear, that's for sure. And literally, it is our human element because we agreed to live in the third dimension to experience these things. So you actually did agree to experience those things. I did too. Interesting. And we're at such a precious time right now and from now on that you can end these things. You can stop these things. You can say goodbye to these things, let go of these things. And you can even in time thank it for showing up, because it actually does allow us, because we experience these contrasting experiences, whether you've had harmful things happen to you, traumas, terrible things, things where you think something's happening to you, or you feel like a victim, or you feel helpless or hopeless, or even just big losses, right? So deep sorrow, sadness, things like that. I would guess that each one of us have experienced some of those things. Some have had really intense things have happened with you. Others maybe medium, or others maybe a little. But the thing is, if you've had any of them, okay, that actually stays written in the subconscious mind. So within us, we have a beautiful mechanism within us. You have your consciousness. This consciousness is that you are awake right now. You're listening to this talk. Yay. So you're not sleeping. You're not in the bed sleeping unconscious. No, you're awake. Yes, you are awake. The level of consciousness that you're at right now is determined by the vibration that you had. We talked on another talk about the law of vibration, because each of these universal laws come together. What vibration you're in is then gonna have you react or respond with an action, with something you are doing, who you are, and what you do. So this is what this talk is all about, is the invitation to connect with your spirit part of you instead of just your ego separate self part of you, and letting that part of you that you get to connect with then help you with your action steps, help you with moving forward in your life, or especially creating the things you want to do, things like that. And that's what I love, that that the universal law is of inspired action. So if you can see it as I don't know what the word is, a range. I guess if you can see it as a range, right? Levels, a range. You can see it as a range. On the one end, it's in survival land or fearful land, or suffering and pain, where you're just scared. You're scared of, let's say, not having enough food, or being homeless, or being hurt, afraid that you're not even safe. Things like that, afraid that you're not going to have enough. That's all. Many aspects of us at the subconscious level receive that from our parents. And it's really key to be able to make those changes within you at the subconscious level of the mind, so that you can stop it, end it, complete it, and then insert your new way, your abundance way. And that's what we'll be talking here with. And a beautiful tool called Psyche can help you with doing that, literally within minutes of making that change, upgrading your subconscious mind in that way, releasing that old energy and embodying the new. So near the end of the talk, we'll talk more about Psyche and how you can come learn this for yourself. I'm offering online workshops and or even one-on-one private sessions. And all of this is in your readiness. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop letting ego run the show? That's a huge one to ask yourself. Because if you are ready, then yay, welcome. Welcome to listening today to what you're going to be hearing and to receive. And then the key will be after this talk is go take an inspired action. So we're definitely going to be motivating you to take an inspired action at the end of this talk. Doesn't that sound great? Yay. Yes. Good. So on the spectrum of us, you can even say us living, us, our actions, us doing the things that we want to do versus maybe what we have to do or we don't want to do. You offer some time for yourself to reflect. What are the things in your life that you actually don't want to do, but you're actually doing it? That's a huge one to address. Okay. We call it forced action. You're forcing yourself to do it. You may think I have to do it because I got to pay the bills. Like, let's say you don't like your job. I hate my job. I don't like my job. I'm miserable there, but I have to pay the bills. So I do it. So what you're doing then is please reflect back to yourself. Are you finding a way to show yourself that you are sacrificing or being a martyr? Because at the subconscious level, that might actually be serving you in some way. And when you can be gentle with yourself to say, hey, is there a part of me at the subconscious level, you can call it like a little part of you, that may think that that's actually what I'm supposed to be doing. You might have been taught that with the religion that you were raised in or the culture that you were raised in. I know I certainly was. I was actually taught to go ahead and be a rescuer and get out there and help everybody else, be very selfless, always be thinking of others, to the degree that it was so out of balance that I did not think of myself or even check in. How am I doing? How am I feeling? Nope, not at all. I wasn't taught that. And I know my parents did the best they could, that's for sure. And it was what they had been taught. And for actually probably thousands of years, many of us have been living in that way. Well, the gift is that this lifetime, yay, we get to bring things back into balance again. Yes. Woo-hoo. And I know I'm playing an important part here. I chose to be one that loves to bring the harmony and balance back within my own self, which I do as a daily action step and work within my own self. And then I also offer for other people. So as I'm able to do for myself, I'm going to offer for you. There you go. So can you bring it back into balance? Can you allow yourself, open up time for yourself? That's a big one. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, where you can even say, hey, I need some time for myself. And sometimes that's not even easy to do, to actually let people know that you can make time for yourself. And we'll talk at the end where you can get a Psyche session or come learn Psyche, which you can change those programs, because you might not have been, you might have developed beliefs that limit you from expressing what you need or want, or even identifying what you need or want. And you can change that. It's okay to have needs. We're supposed to have needs. And I know I've had to work on that within my own self. Because we are human. Humans have needs. We have needs here because we are born with some limitations here. Yes, we are. And we can expand them. So with this, yes, there's this forced action, which is about when you're only in your ego self. And that's what we're going to be helping you stop doing things that you forcing yourself to do. And instead allow yourself to move into more inspired things, that you would do it because it feels right for you. That's the biggest piece. An inspired action is something that feels just right for you. You are aligned into it. You feel good in it. And yes, this it's like you have a yes within you. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. It can be uncomfortable because you might have to make a big change. It doesn't mean it's all going to be roses and super easy and fun. No, we actually signed up for some challenges here. Yes, we did. It doesn't have to be horrible. It can just be a bit uncomfortable. Some people are very uncomfortable with change. And so that's another piece you can work with yourself with the gift of Psyche, is to help you become more comfortable with change and to welcome the change, welcome the unknown. There is an unknown. We don't know what's going to happen in the next moment or the next day or the next year. We don't. And the gift is you can actually cultivate the peace within you. And that's being inspired within your own self to connect in. And then that will move you into the actions that you are meant to have and do here in your life. So we're setting the precedent up from forced action to inspired action. The one in between is called neutral action, about what neutral action is and how to work with these within yourself, because we all are being challenged with this these dynamics here, and you can make a beautiful change within yourself to feel more in the joy and the peace and the love and harmony that you actually are. If you're feeling frustrated or blocked, limited in any way, if things are bugging you, that, man, I wish I could just clear that up, get that resolved, handle that, but it's just not happening, then, hey, the key is to connect in within yourself. You have the answers within you. Psyche is a beautiful way to help you with that. It's a transformational tool that you get to use. You can have a one-on-one session. Like myself, I'm a Psyche facilitator that I help hold great sacred space for you, ask some key questions, and then you actually get to access the wisdom within you of how you want things to be instead. So with stop letting the ego run the show is a huge one. If you can say, you know what, I'm really tired of, let's say, not liking my job or being frustrated in a relationship. Maybe you're not getting the respect or the love that you would love or want, right? Or know you're heard. Or let's say you're struggling financially with stuff, where do you just, it's just, life is always a struggle, or why can't I just, why can't things just be easy and be in the flow? Why does it have to be so hard? If any of these things are happening for you, they actually are here for you, believe it or not. And what a gift if you can just imagine, if you can pause and stop and catch whenever you are feeling like you are, if you are feeling really aggravated or frustrated, if you can recognize it and actually realize the energy that you're feeling, the emotion that you're having, let yourself breathe. Recognize it, catch it, and then breathe. Take 3 to 5 deep breaths, holding your breath at the top of your breath, blowing all the way out. And then let yourself recognize this is just an emotion that's coming up. This is just a concept that's coming up. And it could be a lot of negative thoughts coming up for you. These are all actually here for you, and they're going to be coming out even more potently than they ever have before. And so you may have even felt like this maybe the last 6 months or last year or last couple of years, where what the heck, why is all the stuff coming at me or coming up that I didn't have a problem with before? And the answer is that, hey, because there's the spirit part of you, we'd love to help assist you with alchematizing that you just use it like compost. Like I love to say, change the shit to holy shit. You get to actually use it for yourself to let it be a stepping stone or gateway, or even just helping you blast up into your passion, your true essence of who you are, and fully, truly connect with the true beingness, the true love, connect with the heart center within you, the heart love center within you, and then your spirit part of you, and let that part of you, it's a bit of a surrendering, allowing, right? And letting go, stopping just your individual self or the scared ego self part of you. Instead, comfort that part of you. Hold space for that part of you, listen to that part of you. And with the Psyche session, we do that to help assist you. And then you're going to be able to actually allow yourself to bring in the opposite, what you truly want to have instead, and then embody it at the subconscious level of the mind. Because once you have it within your belief system, things can really change. Mahatma Gandhi has a beautiful quote that says your beliefs, because of the beliefs you have, they actually turn into the thoughts that you have. And these thoughts then turn into the words that you use. So how you talk and how you speak and the thoughts that you have are all a reflection of the beliefs you have. And those end up turning into the actions that you take. So if you are having negative thoughts or very scared thoughts or fearful thoughts and don't even realize that you do, or beating your own self up, judging your own self, and you may not even recognize that you are, the second that you can catch yourself hearing it or other people saying it to you. So if there's other people doing that to you or treating you in that way, that's actually also here for you too. That's also here to let go of the ego and to actually connect into your spirit. Let your ego merge in oneness with your spirit, which means, wow, this is actually here for me and I don't like this anymore and I want it to change. Perfect. That's exactly what we're meant to be doing. Yes, we are. And you can stand up for yourself and say, yes, I am done with that. I choose to want to live in a better way, more love, more peace, more harmony, more flow in my life. Let things become easy. Let things become abundant. Let things become wonderful for myself and for you. If you're like this, I know that's how I live, then I'm like, heck yes, then things have to change. And then you'll need to make some changes, And the gift is, because we are emotional beings, that gives us a huge gauge. So how you're feeling is actually super huge. You don't have to get lost in those feelings as far as if you are deeply sad or deeply angry or feel guilty or even shameful. There, you get to use it. So with Psyche, it helps you actually become more of a witness for yourself, more an observer of yourself. Raise your level of consciousness so you can actually witness when this stuff is happening, and now you can use it and do something about it. And then in time, you're going to have more and more beautiful, flowing, loving experiences. And that is your gift that you get to give yourself and you get to give the world. I know. Woo-hoo. So if I'll share an example of ego running the show is I went and offered a beautiful retreat for some beautiful beings this past week. And I was at a facility that was absolutely beautiful. And it was a sacred space that I was so grateful for to be able to use. And then we were cleaning up because we actually ate there too, which was really awesome. But at the end of it, it was the last night. There's about 3 of us that still like finished up the food that was left over, eating it. And then there was a woman that was coming, getting ready for the next day that they were going to be using the room for the next day for their event next day. And she was just very angry and upset. She had a little baby with her too, but she didn't even realize it. We'll call her Eva. Eva didn't even realize that she was just spewing out all this anger. And she was just mad that, right, we were still there. She thought she'd have her own time there and why we were there. So it was just like, like basically a miscommunication from the higher aboves about this. And then even the next day during the new event the next day, she was complaining again about the extra stuff that was left over, things like that. So it's this complaining. So if you're complaining, please catch yourself. Okay. Or if you hear anybody else complaining, make note of it. Say, wow, okay. One, you can offer compassion because that's what we did. We just held space for her and offered compassion. And she was going through some personal stuff in her own life that she didn't even realize. So thank goodness the the leader of the place did have a good talk with her just to let her know, listening to her, how are things, what's going on, and then letting her know about the reaction or about what the effects it had, because we do have effects on each other when we uh, spew out, the anger, the frustrations that we're having onto others, or even projecting or blaming and stuff. And then the gift is at least she recognized it. She actually felt bad about it, which is okay. But hopefully she can move through that feeling bad about it and then love herself, because that's actually the gift. And that's what an inspired action can be. So what we can use this as an example for is how she was acting or behaving. Her actions was out of the anger or frustration she may have felt in her own personal life, that she wasn't getting help, wasn't being heard, wasn't feeling the love and support and nurturing that she actually needed right now. And instead turns it against other people and starts seeing what they're not doing that's right and what's making it difficult for her. So if you're ever doing anything like this, or you're with anybody else that's doing anything like this, the huge part is that that's more of a forced action. She was just forcing her reaction of her emotions onto other people. And instead she can move it into an inspired action, like what. And so now that she knows that she did this, because she probably didn't even realize she was even doing it when it all happened. Most people aren't even realizing it. And if someone else does, hey, let them know about it. Then she can do something about it. So that's actually a gift. Now when if she's feeling the anger or the frustration, she may have a good talk with her partner to say, hey, listen, this is something that I want to share with you, or have a psyche session where she can get down to, it may even be back when she was a child with her father or mother, or her upbringing, that the subconscious level is recreating again in her partner now, or in friendships or relationships now. And that's the gift, is that we can get right to the source of things and shift that, so that she could become more conscious and aware and have a better experience, so that these things don't happen to her anymore. That's the really gift, where when she can shift, she may need to shift within herself that I am worthy, I am respected, I am honored. And when her subconscious believes that, then her thoughts will become more positive, that she'll know, because she knows that at the subconscious level of the mind, at her knowingness within her. And then even her own words then can become more loving instead of the anger that's spewing out, which is super huge. And then that will move into, the actions move into your values and your destiny and your life. And then she can have a more fulfilling, loving life. So even if, hey, you had outbreak, let's say, where you got super angry and you, we can call like people, you get triggered, right? And you go off on somebody. Okay. The gift is what are you going to do about that? Do you want to keep doing that to people or to yourself or to others? Or would you like to change it? And that's the biggest question you can ask yourself. How long do you want to keep being like that or acting like that? Because it's going to affect your relationships. It will affect probably even your finances and even your health. It can even, your health can start having effects with that too. And the gift is you don't have to. So that's the gift of connecting with spirit. Allow the ego part of you to surrender and allow and to let that part of you be held and loved and nurtured and get really real. That's the big thing here too. In order to have inspired action, it means you're living consciously, you're living presently, and what feels right for you. And it can be a quantum leap. It can be, woo, you may not even make logical sense of something, but yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. And you can do it. Yes, you can. I worked as a birth nurse for 26 years, night shifting, because that was a way we could raise our family. And then there were times in my spiritual evolution and ascension and growth where literally my spirit would speak within me. And that's really huge when you can cultivate that beautiful connection with spirit, that your own spirit and spirit of divinity can speak through you. And it feels right, even though it may be uncomfortable. So for me, my spirit let me know an inspired action I was meant to take. And then you might just get these epiphanies. You might just get this, woof, call them downloads or epiphanies, or just, wow, I'm meant to be doing this. And you could feel that, yes, this is so true. That I was meant to become a certified Psyche instructor. There's about 30 of us across the world that teach this beautiful, fantastic, powerful process that helps people make changes in a long-lasting way, a tremendous way to help them flow through the ascension much more gracefully than having it be hard or difficult. And so my spirit basically says, yes, it's time for you to become an instructor, basically. And so meaning I need to let go of being a nurse. And I actually loved helping moms have babies. I loved it. I'm like, how can I let go of something that I love? Right. So that's actually, so sometimes when you make an inspired action, you'll have to let go of some things maybe you don't want to let go of. And that's even the ego. The ego does not want to let go of being in control because it's like it thinks it has to be, right? And these are also the pieces within ourselves that is so sacred when you can love that part of you and trust and know we are meant to evolve. We are meant to connect in our within our spirit and to offer our gifts and share in the ways that we're meant to share. So instead of helping moms have babies, I help people birth their true selves. So I'm still helping people birth, which is really awesome. And it did. And actually that whole transition, it was one of the biggest gifts I gave myself. I actually love being an entrepreneur way better than having a job. And some of you may like that too, that freedom and that excitement of creating the things that you love to have and serving the world in that way. Or you can find ways to love yourself and to feel comfortable and love what you do with the work that you do. Whatever it is, making sure it feels right for you. That's that inspired action. When you get to the point when you only allow yourself to do what feels right for you, your whole life will change. And that's what I've done for myself. I'm so grateful for it. And I welcome this for you. You let go of that forced change. Stop letting ego run the show and instead allow your spirit to run the show. Allow yourself to surrender the control or the rigidness or the forced action, the forced way of being that parts of you may be still doing, and welcome yourself to be inspired, to be welcomed in with the spirit of who you are, and allow who you are in your beingness become in that spirit way, and then let yourself be inspired in the actions that you take. Let that feel right for you. Let that be in alignment with what excites you, what lifts you up, what allows you to radiate, to share your gifts, to be in that fullness of who you are. We are all being called to do this, and we welcome you to this, and you have everything it takes within you to do this. What the key piece will be is that are you ready for it, for one, and are you ready to say yes? And it's just a decision, a determination. All it takes is courage and willingness. If you have the courage, which means you decide to make a change, to say, yes, I want to be more inspired in what I do and who I am, instead of forcing things. That is absolutely the game changer. Yes, it is. And what we'd also like to bring in for you is four other words. Two words we're going to really dive in deeply with. One is devotion, and also focus. Those are huge things. So with devotion is a big one. What are you devoted to? What matters to you? What is like, man, this is why I'm living. This is why I'm here. This is what I know. This is what is most important to me. What is most important to you? Ask yourself that and give yourself some reflection to that time with that. And what are you willing to devote your energy, your time, your beingness to and with? And a great one would be to actually connect with your spirit. That's actually a big one to do. Because if you do, things will get much, much more expansive. You'll be able in time to see the big picture of things, have a quantum leaps of stuff. You literally get to open new doorways. Sometimes shutting a doorway, like stopping the ego from running the show, allows then you to open to your spirit doorway to open up so that you can live in a whole new way than you ever have before. And you can do it. It's in your decision making, which is awesome. So by doing that is by being deliberate. Being deliberate is a huge one. How deliberate are you in these changes? Are you actually beginning to make some changes in your life? Because some of us will just talk about it or complain about it or just, mollify it in contemplation or ideas. But are you actually living it? Are you actually bringing it in your life? Are you actually having these changes? So having a deliberation within you is a huge, huge gift. So I'd love to read to you from Lhasa. Lhasa is a beautiful being that was on this planet that taught beautiful ideas about spirit. And this is all for you. So this is a message at the feet of Lhasa, and he lived in China at the time. And you can even close your eyes and just listen if you would like to do that. So we sit with the legendary philosopher Lhasa in a lovely garden beneath a plum tree in full bloom. The air is fragrant and a soft breeze waffles through the air. We are so inspired to be here with his other students. Lhasa radiates a vast depth of wisdom and grace as he speaks about the importance of deliberation. We are captivated. Lhasa is the reputed author of Tao Te Ching, is the founder of Taoism, which honors and reveres living in harmony with nature. So if you'd love to live in harmony with nature, and a key piece will be the harmony within your own self, which is the nature of you. So Lhasa focuses on deliberating thoughtfully on life. So would you like to deliberate thoughtfully about your life? Being genuine, letting go of attachments. And that's a huge one. Are you able to let go of being attached to things? And that's a whole nother saga to do because we hold on. We feel like we have to have it or control it. Can you let it go? Let things be free. Let you be free because you actually are at the highest level of spirit. You certainly are. And you can allow yourself as a human being to also have that too. And embrace simplicity, patience, and balance with all of life. And these are precious gifts for us. He's telling us now to be thoughtful with every action and to be measured in our responses to the activities of life. So be aware of the actions you're taking, okay? A wonderful calmness fills all of us as we listen to the warmth of his voice in this sumptuous garden. So this is called Time Traveler's Message. There is a great value in being deliberate with the decisions that you make in life. Be deliberate with the decisions that you make in life. Have it come from your love instead of from fear. That's a huge one. Most of us do things from fear. Catch it if you're in fear. With Psyche, you can transform that perception of that within minutes, which is fantastic, and then connect back to your love and your peace, and then respond in your love. Okay? So there are situations that call for spontaneity and making choices are on instinct, and we'll create things on instinct. But there are other times when it's important to think long and hard about what's ahead. So give yourself some time to plan, to look at all of the effects that will happen for the actions that you take, if you can do that. Okay. And this is not to make So allow yourself to slow down and don't make any decisions without thinking through every aspect of what that choice will entail. So if you can, what will be the consequences of that? And are you okay with those consequences? Okay. Which is, if there are two paths ahead, one complex and one simple, we recommend you choose the simple one. Check the simple one. If someone wants a quick decision from you, graciously decline until you have had time to deliberate. Go within, check. And you can just say, hey, give me some time and check in. And if when it feels right for you, that's the answer. Instead of doing it just to please somebody or doing it just so somebody doesn't get upset. No, let yourself stop that. That's just your ego that's in fear, that's still reading those limiting beliefs, that is still, offering for you. Yeah, no, do what feels right for you. Okay. There is a place within you that always knows what's true for you, and it's in your heart. Yes, it is. Take time in stillness, silence, meditation to discern how you want to proceed. Allow yourself that quietness. Go within and let yourself ask yourself, what feels right for me? What will be the best for me and for all at the highest level? And then that's the best choice to make. Okay. So allow yourself this authenticity in your life and to follow your inner voice. Okay. Listen to what's sincere and honest in for yourself and others. And is there anything or anyone in your life that doesn't feel authentic? Then it's time to release that situation or have a very crucial conversation with that being. So we recommend invite yourself to be more deliberate. Say, be very deliberate. Yes, yes, I want to do that. Yes, that feels right for me. Yes, that is it. That's your inspired way. Or no, that doesn't feel right for me. And that's just as equal to stop that fear, stop that uh, old programs that we did or old ways of reacting just out of survival. Stand in your power, connect in your power, connect in your heart, what feels right, and then begin in those inspired ways of responding from your true essence of that. Ooh, we recommend. Okay, so the second word is focus. Okay. And this is messages from Shaolin Temple, also in China. So there we go. We got some stuff from China. So we're just going to imagine we're going to do a little time traveling here, and you can close your eyes here too. So let's say let's have the example that we arrive in China around 500 CE within the walls of Shaolin Buddhist Temple at the foot of Wuru Peak in the sacred Songshan Mountain. The energy here is rarefied and pristine. We watch the monks in the open air courtyard as they do their martial art forms. It looks like they are dancing. We are impressed with their flexibility, strength, and focused intention. Buddhism is a peaceful way of being, and with an emphasis on nonviolence and vegetarianism. Yet it also acknowledges that there are times in life to defend yourself and others. One of the monks sits beside us and tells us that the Shaolin style is one of the oldest and most revered methods of Kung Fu. He says it is more than just martial arts, it is a spiritual pursuit. It was developed by the patriarch Bodhidharma, who spent 9 years meditating in a cave. Could you imagine 9 years meditating in a cave? I couldn't. That's a lot of time for yourself, that's for sure. And connecting with spirit, which is what he did. You can shorten that. It's okay. Give yourself 15 minutes a day, and then maybe an hour or two, maybe a weekend. All right. He points to the mountain to show us where the cave was. We are both in awe as we watch. This type of martial arts seems almost mystical in the focused, rapid speed and grace with which a practitioner can disarm an opponent. Yeah, very quickly. And they're so cool, those movements. So this message for you here is that to remind you to focus on what is worthwhile and splendid for you. What is worthwhile and splendid for you? That's your inspired way, your inspired action. Let go of everything else. The secret behind true manifestation is disciplined focus. Allow yourself to focus on what is really true for you, what feels right for you, what is your heart truly desiring, and begin to move in that way. Begin something new that you couldn't do before. just those little changes, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed with the other new changes that you'll make and how amazing you can be within a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. What you direct your attention toward is what you create. Yes, because we are the co-creators of our lives. Wherever you put your focus, yes, your devotion, your deliberateness, you're going to be amazed what the energy can create and do for you. Okay. Yay. When you direct your thoughts toward good, you are more likely to attract positive experiences in your life. So focus on the good that you are, the good that you have already accomplished, and what you would love to do in your new way. Even if there are times when it seems that your focus isn't working, things are germinating beneath the surface in your life. So even if you're not seeing the results, that's where patience comes in. That's where balance comes in. That's where you can go get assistance from others. Go get the help from others. If you find yourself feeling scattered, choose one thing and direct all your attention on it. So if you're scattered, that just means a lot of ideas are coming in. Pick the best one and just focus on that one. Diminish activities that distract you. They dilute your energy and inner power. Concentrate on what you desire rather than what you don't want. Focus on what you do want. If you stay focused on one goal, it's just a matter of time until miracles occur in your life. And we offer this for you. Of your inspired action comes from your true spirit, from your heart. You have this, you are this, and you can begin at this moment now. One way you do that is by letting go of your ego running the show, and instead have your spirit run the show. Have your true essence run the show of your life here, because you can, and that's huge. Yes, and it's when in your willingness, your courage and your willingness to say yes. Any areas of your life where you are blocking yourself from that, limiting yourself from that, or you're still stuck in fear or resentment or anger, guilt or shame, you can change these things. These are actually all here for you. Yes, you can. You sure can. Well, a huge, an amazing way you can do that is by using a powerful tool called Psych-K. And yes, I am one of the Psych-K instructors here across the world, a certified instructor across the world. There's 30 of us where you can learn this. I'll be offering some online workshops coming up here in the wintertime. So December 6th through the 8th, you can actually learn this tool for yourself by the comforts of your own home. And also in January 24th to 26th, so in the new year. Either of those, this is where this inspired action can happen. If you are ready for the changes, but you still feel blocked, this is what Psych-K is here for you for, to remove those blocks at the subconscious level of the mind. The only reason they are is because your ego is running the show, which means those fear parts of you or those survival parts of you think you have to stay in that old way or a controlling way or a rigid way. Really the not self way is what human design would say, meaning you're in your full essence yet. And that's okay. It's what you may have experienced or chosen to experience here, and you can be done with it. You can let it go. You can totally let it go. You can stop it. You can start in a new way. Yes, you can. One way by doing that we recommend is to notice anytime you react in a way that you didn't like how you reacted or how you behaved or how your action was. That's all here for you too. Notice it, take note of it, write it down, capture it. Okay. And then and check in with that. Were you in fear when you did that, or anger, or like in a contracted energy, and you just reacted in that way because of that? And if you did, it's okay, because you can change it. Yes, you can. Get some help. Get some tools that help you. That's what we are all being called to do. Psych-K is a huge, powerful one. Breath work works great. Plant medicines. There's other things that you can do too. And they all are connected and can support you. Psych-K is actually, as Dr. Bruce Lipton says, one of the fastest, most effective ways to make these changes for yourself. And because you really can. I also offer one-on-one private sessions. So if you're not ready to learn it yet for yourself, you just want to receive the help, that's actually one of the fastest way to get started, because my system knows all the balancing ways that you can access for Psych-K. And you get to make the changes that you're ready for. And that's the gift here, because you get to connect back to your spirit, back to your wisdom within you, and start beginning to bring into your life your inspired way of being, your inspired actions, instead of the old contracted ways. You get to do this. Yes, you do. So and by the other two words we were talking about is conviction and determination. You do have to have a bit of conviction, a bit of commitment, and a determination where you have to make a change within yourself that says something needs to change. Like, let's say a better health for yourself, better relationships for yourself, better finances, better maybe even just a purpose, career choices, leaning into sharing your gifts with the world, because you are here for an important reason. You are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You are vital. You are vital and necessary. And it's time for you to awaken to that, to step into so you can live your highest life here. And have things become more in harmony and synchronicity and flow within yourself and within your life, because you deserve it. You do. Anchor in your self-worth, anchor in your forgiving abilities of your opening of your heart, your unconditional love for yourself. These are the things that we help you with using Psyche. So how you can reach me is by going to my website, igniteandhealyourlife.com. That's igniteandhealyourlife.com. You can click on services for Psyche sessions or upcoming workshops for the upcoming workshops that are coming here. If you would rather learn Psyche in person in real lifetime, I'll be doing that in beginning of March in Florida. So you can check my website for that, and Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And in April, I'll be in Tennessee. I will be offering in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then in May, I'll be coming back up to the north again, and I'll be offering it in Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor. So all those will be coming on my website shortly. If you go to my website and click to subscribe to my newsletter, you'll be getting all my updated information. I'm also working with a dear friend of mine. We're creating some new material too that supports with the work of Psyche, even in a greater enhancement, called Your Sacred Way. So that will be coming in the new year. So we'll be talking more about that as time gets closer. And for now, just trust and know that, yes, your spirit, you are a spiritual being having this human experience, and you get to live in the most magical, amazing, magnificent ways because you can. And you get to integrate your ego into your spirit part of you, so you can live from your heart center, your inspired way of being. So every action you do is from your inspired of, yes, this feels right, and yes, I get to do this, and let this ripple effect cast across the world, because we are anchoring in the new earth here, and you are vital and needed and necessary, and we're grateful for you. You all have a beautiful day. This has been a wonderful time with you until we connect again. Aho.